Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Small Stages, Big Sounds. I'm David O'Neill, and I'm joined today by Naploeon Baby from New Zealand, who are going to have a chat about their new music and a potential UK tour in the future. So, welcome, boys. If you'd like to tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are, take it away.
Hi there, David. Thanks for having us. My name's Dan. I sing, play guitar for Naploeon Baby.
Hey David, I'm Jamie. I'm a drummer for Naploeon Baby.
I'm Jesse, and I'm the bassist for Naploeon Baby.
Okay, so obviously you got a following in New Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be considering going further afield. How big is your following down there?
God, I don't even know. It's hard to put a number on it. We spoke a bit before about people not wanting to travel to gigs and stuff. It's a bit similar like that here because obviously it's 10 hours to the next gig. But yeah, we got a few people. We got a few. We do all right. We just did a tour with later last year. We did a tour with an Irish band called Ash, who you probably know.
I've heard of Ash, yeah.
Yeah, so we did a few shows there, and we sold out those shows and stuff. So we do all right.
What size crowds are you playing to?
For those ones, it was about 400, wasn't it, for those? The Tuning Fork was 300, and then the other one was 400, yeah, so about that size. But usually we'd play to 100, that kind of size. Smaller venues.
Okay.
Smaller venues.
Okay. Well, I've got something to show you later that might be really useful for you if you're coming over here.
Yes.
But we'll have a talk about that later. So how many gigs are you planning if you come over to the UK?
So we're planning to do, I think, just about 3 or 4 in the UK, but we'd like to do some in Europe as well. So thinking Spain would be a good one because both myself and Jamie will be there as well. But I don't think this will be a one-off. I think we'll go back again either later in the year or early next year as well and do a bit more.
Okay, well, that's useful because, like I said, this is all about the smaller stages, and I've got contacts with a lot of the smaller venues in the area which play all different styles of music. So hopefully it'll be a useful chat for that, if nothing else.
You can be the new manager, David.
UK manager.
Yeah.
Get paid the same as I do for everything else.
We'll double that.
2 zeros.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least we know now the sort of size venues you're talking about, the smaller grassroots venues, really. Now, the UK's got a bit of an issue with grassroots venues at the moment, and they go into the wall at a rate of about 2 a week. So they're getting fewer and fewer. So finding those venues and the issues of travelling between them becomes a lot harder, particularly if you don't know the area. So have you got connections with any UK promoters at the moment?
Yep. I've got 2 or 3 promoters that we're talking to at the moment who've already booked us a show in North London, a place called the Strong Room in Shoreditch. And those promoters do most of the areas that we'd be interested in playing in London. And then we're speaking to another promoter called DHP, I think they're called, and they do Brighton and they do the South Coast and that kind of way. And they're also looking for opening slots for us. Going back to what you're saying about the grassroots venues, I think it's a global thing. It's the same for us over here. Auckland doesn't have any venues now that are below, I'd say, 400 capacity. They just keep getting closed down. They're a bit too, actually, no, it's a low. We played one that was about 150 recently, but other than that, they're all kind of going. It seems to be globally, there's certain cities that, put more emphasis on their art and their music scene. So they always have these small venues popping up. Yeah, places like Auckland, I imagine, as you say, where you're from as well, like they do tend to close because they can't afford the rents most of the time. And so, yeah, we'll be looking to play those kind of venues all the time because I think we do well in those venues as well.
Okay. I know a few promoters who put gigs on in the Cardiff and Swansea area as well.
Oh, fantastic.
So if you want me to put in touch with them, just let me know and I'll send them your email.
Absolutely. We'd love that, yeah.
Great.
Especially Cardiff, yeah.
There's a particular group of venues in Cardiff. I don't know if you know Womanby Street, Dan?
Yeah, I do. And there's a venue called, I think it's called Club 4 Bar.
Yeah, Club Ivor Bach, yeah.
I'd love to play that.
Okay.
It's got a bit of a reputation, isn't it? In a positive way, obviously, so yeah.
It does, yeah. And it's got 2 rooms there. It's got a smaller room and a larger one.
I saw that, yeah.
So there are a few there. There are a few around the area as well that tend to put on up to about 400.
Right.
But while we're talking about that, I'll show you the website I was talking about. Right, this is a really useful website that's been set up by the Music Venue Trust, which looks at promoting music from grassroots venues.
Oh yeah.
So I'll just share this screen, there it is there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's called Hereby. And as you can see, that's the sort of music venues all around the South Wales area.
Oh great.
And
We'll
it's
have a
all
look at that.
searchable.
Oh, nice.
So you can search for any venues you like. You can explore the venues, and it actually tells you what's going on at the time. So, say, for example, I put in Fuel, which is opposite Club Iverbach.
What's that like as a venue?
It's a rock and metal venue. It's
Oh, right.
small,
Yeah.
but it's usually quite full. Low venues is not letting me find it. Fuel. There we are. That's Fuel, and that's the sort of stuff they put on there.
Really cool website.
So you can see what's actually on there for for a good while as well.
Oh, great. Yeah. Well,
so it's hereby.com, HEARYBY.com. It's a fantastic resource, and it's not just the UK. It actually covers North America as well.
even handier.
Cool.
Yeah, I got it on the phone.
So that's a really useful site. One of those things you find out when you're doing these things.
It's actually really handy. Yeah. Thanks for that, David. We'll have a look at that.
Obviously, being from New Zealand, do you think you anticipate any problems filling the venues, even the smaller ones?
In my experience of living over here and then coming and doing shows, because I have done a tour with another band before over there,
Mm-hmm.
there tends to be more of an interest in, especially in London, I'd say, and places like Brighton and Bristol and that. Like, there tends to be more of an interest in people just going out to music anyway. So obviously, you got to promote as much as you can, promote the hell out of it, basically. But you got to give people a kind of a reason to come to see an artist that's coming from a different country, or that. So you try and get your song on the radio as much and do as much. So it's always a risk, But I have to say, last time I played back in London, it was completely full up. Obviously, we've got a lot of Jamies from London, so we've got a lot of mates there as well, and word of mouth. And, if you're a band from New Zealand, there's loads of Kiwis in the UK as well, so they tend to flock to. They see the word NZ anywhere. So yeah, I mean, it's obviously a risk, but you I think you got to align yourself with some cool bands as well, local bands as well, playing the area.
Yeah. So how would you describe your style of music?
Jesse, you take this one.
This is a question for you.
Oh, Jamie.
So, from my point of view, I believe we're very much a British indie band, despite actually being based here in New Zealand. Our sound is very, very British. What we speak about, sing about, write about is not what typical Kiwi bands sing and write about. I believe that and Dan's a songwriter, so this isn't blowing smoke up his arse, but our music speaks about real issues, real social climate that we're in at the moment. And Kiwi bands just don't tend to do that. They talk about the beach and how their holidays are so great and stuff like that. Just no substance to it. So I think the band I think is a good indie rock band. Before I joined, I'd seen the band a couple of times and liked them. And yeah, I think it's very much not a New Zealand style. Much better suited over in the UK. I think people will get us a lot more than what they do here.
Okay. You sound like you've not been in New Zealand very long.
But I've been over here for 8.5 years.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't want to be doing all this sort of stuff and calling people bro all the time. No offense, Jesse.
So, I assume it's a when you come over, what do you envisage as your biggest goal for the tour?
So we're over in August. For me personally, this is going to be not as long a tour as I'd hope, because I'm getting married as well in like 2 weeks, by the way. And then so we're twinning it.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you. So we're getting we're going to have a bit of a honeymoon over there as well. So we're going to a few countries around Europe, and I'll see my family, and we'll go to Ireland, I'll go to Wales and all that. I would like to have this as just like a taster of a tour, and then to go back later on and do a bigger one, maybe make a few connections with promoters and venues that we can realign with later on. And to be honest, the most ideal thing would to be going to play festivals around the UK would be brilliant.
And the biggest problem with festivals in the UK is the vast majority of them have already booked their artists for this year.
Yeah. So it's the same here. So it's almost like you have to book 10 months out. You have to get in touch 10 months out. Yeah. And but that would be I think that would be ideal, because you get to reach a bigger audience. It wouldn't necessarily go to your gigs then as well.
I'm trying to think where would be the typical sort of indie festival scene. It's not something I follow, obviously, being of an age where rock was classic, and it still is. It's trying to think, something like 2,000 Trees in Cheltenham would be one.
So I saw that, and it looks great, but it's just a bit before we get there. It's June, July, around that sort of time,
Yeah,
and we're over in August. So we have a few things booked for August. But yeah, it looks, I think with the UK and Europe, I read the other day that there's over 2,000 festivals in Western Europe only, like around June, July, August. So next time we do tour, probably a June, July be a better time to go. But Jamie wants to see Oasis, so that's why we're going in August.
So you're paying a fortune for a ticket, and you're paying to come across the other side of the world
Why do you think he's
to
living in
see
a van?
two boys who can't talk to each other.
Basically, yeah. And I'm looking forward to it as well.
Are you seeing them in London and then somewhere else, right?
No, two London dates at the moment.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
we'll see how it goes.
I saw the price of the tickets and went, no way.
Yeah, I saw the price of the tickets, and then I saw the price that they charged me after waiting online for about 7 hours when it went up more than twice as much.
I know.
I still bought
that
it.
Was cruel. Criminal is what it was.
Yeah, it's not right. It's not fair on the people.
Many of the
you can't set
many of the people, Oasis,
set a price. People expect to pay that. I was waiting online for like 7 hours in the middle of the night here, and then you only find out they've upped the price once you get to the basically be able to buy the tickets. So it's either don't go or pay the money.
So have you got any artists in line that you'd think you'd like to support?
Not so far. So we've got there. So we've been doing a lot of research into bands that play a lot of the venues that we're interested in. So for example, if I pick a venue in Brighton, we're hopefully playing, I got in touch with a few promoters there, and they send you a list of bands they think we align with, and a few radio stations that we align with. And you get, like, Jamie knows a few in Brighton as well, and you kind of get to listen to a few. And there's so many, and I think that's what's so good about the UK is it's honestly, like, not just saying again, I know we have heritage there, but like it is the mecca for music. It just always has been, and it's just they just produce so much good stuff, like consistently. And obviously a lot of terrible stuff, but every country does that. New Zealand punches above its weight for that. Yeah, just the UK just has an abundance of like eclectic and like original artists all the time. So I'd play with anyone.
Don't say that too
loud. No, I mean,
you're getting married.
I'm in it.
I mean, obviously you're combining the tour with touring and a holiday. So it's not quite as expensive as it could be if it was just the tour. I know it's expensive. I know. The holiday's expensive enough without adding. So you're going to bring all your own gear, or are you going to hire it when you're here?
I will bring all my own breakables, so my pedals and that kind of thing, but I won't bring my guitar. I've got mates over there. Two of my brothers, I've got one brother lives in Brighton and one lives in London. I'll just steal all their gear pretty much.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Bit harder for a drummer.
Yeah, I mean, I'd look to try and use backline that the venue provides, hopefully, or borrow from other bands where I can. Obviously, taking the drum kit on an aeroplane is not cheap.
No.
And it's a bit of hassle as well, lugging it about between airports, etc. So, yeah, generally, though, good venues have backline available. You can jump on that. It's just breakable, so I might have to borrow cymbals, etc. from mates if I can.
Yeah. And that's when you wish you played the piccolo, not the drums.
Yeah, triangle, something like that would do. Jesse's a rapper, we know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, obviously you've got bigger challenges in New Zealand touring than you do over here, because you said there's a lot of distance with nothing in between.
It's not just that; it's the New Zealand's similar to Canada. Like I lived in Canada before I came here, and internally, just to fly around Canada is so expensive. And New Zealand's a little bit like that as well. It's not like just easy to, we've got flights from Dublin to Italy, and it's like €17. Whereas if I flew from like Auckland to where Jesse is, for example, it could cost me like $400, maybe more, 600. So you're flying over big distances. So New Zealand, technically, it's easy enough to tour around and drive around. It's fine for that. It's just you'd be paying the same amount at the end of the tour as you would for flying probably to America or wherever, just because it's quite expensive to fly internally.
Yeah, I couldn't get over how cheap public transport was in Italy. We went from Rome to Sorrento first class on the train for €25.
It's so cheap. Well, Italy and Spain are particularly cheap anyway, I think. But wait till you come over here, David. You won't have any money left to go home, basically. So,
I had a friend that's just been out there riding a push bike all over New Zealand. He's braver than me.
It's a cheaper way to do it as well.
Way to do it, yeah.
Was that just because he couldn't afford another way?
No, he's a cyclist.
Oh,
His
right.
wife was playing hockey for the Welsh senior hockey team.
Oh, nice.
So he just went over, hired a bike and rode around North Island.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
He's as fit as a butcher's dog.
Yeah.
Need to be.
Yeah.
So, how many... Do you say you got a new album coming out in August?
And a bit before, hopefully. So we're hoping for June, like mid-June, we can get it out.
Okay.
We've just got a few little edits to do on a few songs, and we're pretty much there now.
Okay, so how many records does this make in your collection?
So this will be the first full album. The rest are EPs. Have we done one or two EPs? I can't remember now.
2 EPs now.
2 EPs. We've put out about 5 singles as well over the last 2 years. Is it 5?
Okay.
Something like that.
Might be a bit more.
And then we got another single coming out this Friday called Goddamn Enthusiastic.
So were they pretty well received? Yeah,
we do well. We get some really good reviews from not just from New Zealand, but we got some really cool reviews from Australia last time and just overseas reviews. We got a really good British review actually recently. And I feel like everything we put out, we get better and better reviews every time. We get more people take more notice of what we're doing as well.
Okay. So as I said, when the album's due to come out, just send it to me and I'll write a review for you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We will. We'll send you a vinyl as well. Jesse's sent you one.
So thank you for your time. Like I said, we'll call it a day there because I know how late it is in New Zealand on you guys. It's early morning on a sunny day here. So I got things not to do.
Go swimming again.
Thank you very much, David. Appreciate you taking the time.
I've already
as well.
And once a day is enough, Jesse. Once a day.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. First thing in the morning.
Thanks,
there we are. So lovely talking to you guys.
Jacob took a job as my landlord. Now he burns my life like a candle. He says ambitious people just don't stay